Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories Podcast. I'm Shara Goswick, your host. This is a special episode for me. This is not with a guest. This is not with anybody else but me. I committed months ago to be a part of a podcastathon. And what they wanted us to do was to represent a charity that we believe in, a place that we wanted to support, where we could point people to. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to tell you why it's important to me. So the charity that I'm supporting is Hope Center in Canton, Texas. And the reason I'm supporting it is because that is where I volunteer every Tuesday morning of every week. So if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know that I was a teen mom. And I had a great support system. I had parents and in-laws and people in my life that were willing to help. They jumped in and helped. I really did not go without any help I needed. And that is unfortunately not how every woman faces an unplanned pregnancy. I'm thankful for the women in my life over the years who mentored me, who believed in me and helped me because I was clueless. I was so clueless. But I appreciate those women. Even now, I am faced with circumstances where I'm the one that gets to help and mentor. I get to help women who need help at Hope Center every week. And, sometimes we have women that come in that are in crisis. For me, it's not very often. I haven't had that very much at all. But what we want them to see when they walk in the door, we want them to feel loved. We want them to feel safe. And we want them to know that we're there to listen and to help. Pregnancy centers get a bad rap, and it really breaks my heart. Because I think about what I get to do every week, and I think about the women that I get to work with. And these women in almost 3 years have become like family to me. They are precious, and I know their hearts, and I love what they're doing. And genuinely, I may not know every volunteer. I may not know every staff member personally, but I know enough to know that everybody cares. We are all there for a purpose because this is a commitment. Volunteering every week, no matter what you're doing, is a commitment. It takes time out of your schedule. It takes time out of your day, and it's a commitment. So I don't think anybody is in it for anything other than the fact that they really want to help. And I love that I get to do that at Hope Center. At Hope Center, all of our services are free. We offer free pregnancy tests. We offer limited ultrasounds, and we offer a listening ear. We have a program for women if they decide to commit to coming to Hope every week. It's called Earn While You Learn, where they can take classes on parenting and pregnancy and labor and delivery and relationships and all these different things and earn points to go towards the boutique. And we have a big boutique. It is full of clothes and diapers and wipes and all the things that women need. And I have had the privilege of seeing women come in there that didn't want to have to leave when their 2 years was up. They are able to stay at Hope Center until their child turns 2. So their entire pregnancy and until their child turns 2, if they come every week and do classes. We offer Bible studies as well, which I love getting to talk to these women about the Bible study or just life. I have had the privilege of meeting with some people for a long time. I had a client that had to exit the program because her child turned 2. And I, spending 2 years, even just once a week with someone, you're sharing life with them. We talked about relationships. We talked about things in her life that were important to her. And I was able to listen and offer advice just from my own experiences. I could share my mistakes with her and tell her what not to do. The reason I got involved in Hope Center is not just because I was a teen mom. I started in July of 2022, and 2022 is when Roe versus Wade was overturned. And on Facebook, that's where everybody says everything, on Facebook, I had a lot of people that I was friends with on Facebook that were livid that Roe versus Wade was overturned. And they were angry at Christians. They were angry at people that called themselves Christians. Christians are generally pro-life. And I heard a lot of yelling and shouting and calling of names of Christians who were pro-life saying, okay, what are you going to do now? All you Christians and all these babies now that don't get to be aborted, what are you going to do about them? You're going to adopt them? Or you're going to foster them? What are you going to do? And it bothered me that people had that reaction. I mean, you're free to have whatever kind of reaction you want. It bothered me and it broke my heart, but I also realized they were right to a sense. What are we going to do? Because as someone who is pro-life, someone who is a Christian, who does, talk about the sanctity of life, How is that going to help? I can't adopt children right now. I'm not in a place to foster children right now. What can I do to help? And I realized I could go volunteer at a pregnancy center because I've been in their position. I had an unplanned pregnancy. Yes, I had great support, but I can offer that same kind of support to someone else. And so that's what I do each week. If clients don't show up or our schedule changes, which it tends to do week to week, I want to be there to help. I want to stuff envelopes for, things that need to be mailed out. I want to do whatever needs to be done while I'm there to help that business run well, because that's what it is. It's a nonprofit, but it's a business, and it takes people. It takes lots of volunteers. It takes staff members. It takes financial donors. It takes people who believe in what we're doing to keep it running. And I'm glad that I get to do that each week. I think my favorite thing about being able to volunteer at Hope Center is when these women feel comfortable and safe enough with me to share their life. I want them to feel safe with me. I want them to trust me, because everything that we talk about is confidential. And I want them to feel comfortable enough to ask for help, or to ask about, the video that they watched about parenting or about whatever. I have plenty of advice on parenting because I was not a perfect parent. I'm still not a perfect parent. But I want them to trust me enough that I can share with them what's on my heart and what I've learned to do and what not to do. If you are a woman and you have ever had an unplanned pregnancy, you know what it's like. You know what it feels like to not know what to do, especially if you don't have a support system, especially if you don't have people in your life that can encourage you and help you as you're going to do whatever you're going to do. You need that support system. And so I'm asking you today, if you have it, if you're able to donate, if you want to donate to a place where you know your money is going to help, genuinely help, it's going directly to help people, directly to help young women who need help in this new journey that they are on in a pregnancy, I'm asking you to donate to Hope Center. I promise every penny that is donated is put to excellent use. It encourages and supports and loves on these young moms. It's just a wonderful place to be. And I can tell you that because I'm there every week. I love it. I can't imagine being anywhere else. And I will continue to be there as long as I possibly can. I love helping. I love praying for these young women. I love listening to them and laughing with them. It's been a wonderful part of my life. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. You can find the links to Hope Center and the link to donate down at the bottom. And I'm excited to have you find out more about Hope. Thanks for being here.